Hey, it's Mike with TechPV.com, and I'm going to talk today, and it's going to be a little bit of a rant, but I'm going to talk today about being a professional paintball player. And I'm going to start off the video by saying that you don't have to play in Division I or Open or Pro to consider yourself a professional paintball player. Now, I've got a lot of respect for professional paintball players. I mean, I couldn't think of a worse thing to take up to the top than paintball. I mean, they don't get paid anything. Many times when they're going out to tournaments, their family doesn't come with them. It's an absolute grueling profession to have. And I got to say, my hat's off to any professional paintball player that's out there, man. You guys do something that not very many people can do. But just because those folks are at that level, at the Division I or Open or professional level, you can be a professional paintball player even at the rookie and at the beginner and at the Division IV, at the entry level tournament scene, and you can be a professional paintball player. I'm going to tell you some of the different things that we did. Now, I had a team, Rendition. Okay, it was the team that I started. We were only around for about a year and a half, and we said, you know what, we don't have the ability to play Division I, and we don't have the sponsors to go professional, but we are going to try, even at our level, to be a professional paintball player. And I'm going to tell you, out of every single tournament we played, we never had a single penalty as a team. Ever. We never had a 1-for-1, we never had a playing on, we never had a 3-for-1, we never had a hot gun penalty, a rate of fire infraction. It never happened to Rendition. We played at PSP, we played in local SPCS tournaments, and I'm going to tell you how we did that. One of the things that we used to say is that we don't cheat because we don't have to. Okay, I've had shots that have hit me that I have no idea how the hell it happened. I had one time, a couple months ago, I had a player, probably the first time they were playing, bounced the ball off a finger and I took one right in the knuckle. I said, oh my God, what a lucky shot, and I still walked off. I can tell you on cheating. In cheating, it's a personal preference. If you want to cheat, be my guest. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. But once I've seen players start cheating, it seems like they don't get better. They think that, okay, because I can cheat in rec ball, I can get away with this in a tournament. And I've noticed that once you go down that road of cheating, you as a player will not get better, because you'll say, you know what, I don't have to run laps. I don't have to jog around my block. I don't have to run faster to my bunker, because you know what, I'll just wipe the hit off. Well, let me tell you what, those referees, they're watching. And I can tell you something else. Once you get caught cheating in a tournament, the refs are going to know about it, and they're going to pull you guys for more penalties. And most of the time you get caught cheating in a tournament, you're pretty much done as a tournament, because 3-for-1 and that game is over. Chances are you're not going to be moving on any faster. So if you want to cheat, be my guest. There's a lot of cheaters in paintball. This is just kind of the nature of the sport. But I can tell you from a personal aspect and just from watching players throughout the years, once you go down that road of cheating, not only is the amount of time that you have in the sport going to be limited, because it's no longer going to be fun or challenging. If you're just out there waiting, every time they hit you, you wipe it off, there's no incentive to try to get better. And something else too is, once you get a name as a cheater, or your team gets known as a cheater team, the refs are going to love pulling penalties on you. 1-for-1s, 3-for-1s. Doesn't matter, you're going to be getting penalized like crazy, and chances are the amount of time that you're going to have in the sport is going to be very limited. Something else that drives me absolutely freaking crazy is, I've played on teams before where I prepared for weeks in advance for this one tournament, and then you always end up having that shithead that is like, shows up to the tournament either drunk or, oh God, I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah, I was out partying, oh God, oh, it's like, dude, I've been working for months for this tournament, okay? I've spent thousands of dollars to prepare for this tournament. You didn't even have enough respect for yourself or the team to get a good night's sleep? I mean, I don't understand that. That person is obviously not a professional paintball player. You can do that even at the Division IV level. Get a good night's sleep. Show up to the tournament on time. Be prepared. Prepared physically, prepared emotionally. Your equipment works. Even though you may only be playing in the rookie league, you can still consider yourself a professional paintball player. Something else too is treating other teams with respect. There's a local team here in the greater Tampa Bay area called Fierce. We've beaten them a couple times in practice. I've never been able to beat that team in a tournament. Dan from Fierce runs a phenomenal team. I mean, their players are just phenomenal. And you know what? Every time I get a chance to play against them, I try not to get that out of my head that they're going to beat me, but I always tell them, guys, good job. You want to know why? Because he freaking earned it, man. Those guys bust their ass. Fierce, bust their ass. They work harder than I do, and they deserve to beat me. So treating other teams with respect is another way to be a professional paintball player. Another thing, too, treating referees with respect. These are kids just like you do, and many times you can become friends with them as you're playing, especially like SPCS, CFP Factory, Static, a lot of those guys that are out there. We treat those guys with respect. A lot of them are not getting paid. They're showing up there, they're working a 12-hour day in the heat, dealing with screaming paintball players. We treat the referees with respect. We treat the other teams with respect. They're not going to get every call, right? We've had calls that, where I clipped somebody doing a run through, the refs didn't catch it, and blew our whole team up. But you know what? I'm not going to go scream at the refs about it. That's just paintball. Either I accept it or I get the hell out. I wanted to say something about trying to be a professional paintball player, even though you may not have the ability or the money to compete in the Division I, the Open, or the professional level. You can still take that mentality of being a professional paintball player, even if you're competing in the beginner, the Division IV, the rookie level. And I'll tell you what, most of the professional paintball players that I've had a pleasure of meeting, those are some of the coolest guys I've ever met. Greg Hastings, Glenn Takamoto. I can go on and on and on with some of the professional, Thomas Taylor. Some of the guys from like Joy Division. I met Rocky Newth in person, Crystal Soy. Some of these guys are some of the coolest, most down-to-earth people, and that's why they've been able to rise to the professional status. So let's do that, and let's go ahead and say, you know what, we may not, as the majority of the paintball players, may not have the ability to become a professional paintball player, but we can still be professional players even at our level, regardless of what the level is. So a little bit of a rant, but I kind of wanted to get that off my chest. Email me if you have any questions.